Okay, so World Series is over, which means we can switch our attention now to where is Juan Soto going to sign? Biggest free agent on the market, going to sign a ridiculous deal. Rumors are 10 years, 500 million. Some people are saying it could get up to 600 million, which is a little bit crazy. I want to get into a couple of things. I think we all know that Juan Soto is a great player. I have his Baseball Savant page pulled up right here. I've been getting this question so much recently. It's where is he going to sign? So let's talk about him as a player first, and then let me know in the comment section below where you think he's going to sign, and whoever your favorite team is, just list who your favorite team is, and if you'd like to sign him. I'm assuming most people want Juan Soto on their team. I guess it then comes down to, do you want to pay the man 10 years, 500 million, 550 million, maybe $600 million. I always get scared away when I hear numbers like that big of a contract. He's only 26 years old, which is really unique. Typically, people that are going to be free agents are usually, Aaron Judge, I think, was like, what was he, 30? He was in his 30s when he became a free agent, right? Was he 31 maybe? And he signed that huge deal, but he was a lot older. Juan Soto's 26. I think like Bryce Harper might have been 26. I think Manny Machado might have been like around 26 or so when they signed their deals, which were in like the low $300 million range. Now we're talking about almost doubling that. Soto's 26, they say. I don't know. Maybe he's older. I've heard rumors that he could be. I'm not really sure. But let's assume that he's 26 years old. Okay, so let's look at his Baseball Savant page, and then I'm going to bring up an article that was on New York Times that just breaks down some of the teams that they think could potentially be suitors for Soto, and I'll give you my opinion there as well. So it doesn't take a genius to look at this page and see that there is a whole lot of red. So these are the percentile rankings. So if it says 100 next to your name, that means you are the best of the best. So his batting run value is unbelievable. He's one of the most valuable hitters in the game. You also can see that the blue almost always on this chart has to do with either base running, which he's not a great base runner, or his fielding. He's not a great fielder. So his base running is only a 15. His fielding run value is 38 percentile. 14th percentile in range when it comes to fielding. He has a pretty good arm value, 90, which actually was a little bit surprising. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's only 48th percentile. But he does get he gets graded out well for his arm value. And then you can see sprint speed is 36, so he's not a great runner. But you're not paying him really to do any of that stuff. I would love it if he could do that stuff. I don't know, what would he be worth if he was a great fielder and runner? Is he worth like $700 million? I don't know how high you go. But he can hit. His expected batting average and on-base average and slugging and everything, just everything. Hits the ball super hard, barrels it consistently. Hard hit percentage is way up there. Launch angle sweet spot, who really cares, I guess, about that? Bat speed's up there, everything. Doesn't chase, doesn't strike out very much, walks a ton. So he puts super competitive at-bats together. And when you're a team, I think any team, you're looking for power, right? Everyone's looking for guys that can slug the ball, but you're also looking for guys that can get on base and that can grind out at bats and can be tough outs and can put the ball in play. If you're able to hit for power and you're able to hit for average, you're able to get on base, you're able to put the ball in play, you're not striking out a ton. Like, those are super rare guys that can do all of that. Typically, you'll get a big power guy, but he's going to strike out a ton. You're going to have to deal with the swing and miss and the chase and all that stuff. And that's not Soto. He's able to hit for power and do everything else that you want a hitter to do. If you're building a hitter, he's pretty much what you want to build. Here are his numbers over here. You can see his 7 seasons, which is crazy to think. He's a 285 hitter, 421 on base percentage. His OPS is over 950, which is crazy. He's got 200 career home runs. So far, you can see a spray chart over here. And we'll just kind of scroll down here. You can see some of his numbers here. So I'll scroll down a little bit. Again, if it's in red, it means it's good. Well, hell, there's a lot of stuff in red. You can see his weighted on base average is always in red. His walks are always in red. He just walks a ton. Doesn't strike out that much. His first couple years, he's 19 years old. He struck out 20%, which still isn't horrible in today's game. But then you can see he's just awesome. Everything he does offensively is awesome. And you can get super, we're not going to get into all of this, but you can get into so much detail when it comes to Baseball Savant of how he hits each pitch and his batted ball profile and, and everything. And again, keep it real simple. He's a great hitter. And if you're looking for someone that's going to improve your offense, he's the guy to grab. Okay, so we know all this. Now the question is, who is most likely to sign him? Who should be in the running? Now, Soto actually just came out and said that he's not crossing anyone off the list. All 30 teams are going to be in the running for him. And you know what? Smart man. I wouldn't cross anyone off the list either. You want as many suitors as possible. You want everybody interested. So let's go now and let's check out that New York Times article. Okay, so we're going to run through this article right here, and I'll put it in the description box below so you guys can check it out if you want to read it, although we're pretty much going to read it. So Juan Soto's destination tiers, MLB execs forecast market of winter's top free agent. And so they're going to break down all of the teams right here. We'll just skim through it real quick. So when it comes to Juan Soto, an executive from a major league team said every team should at least try. No kidding, they should all try. Many of them are not going to be able to come close to being able to afford him. So it's going to cross out tons of teams right off the bat. He's that good. He's that young. Now that the World Series is done, Soto officially enters free agency squarely in his prime after hitting 41 home runs in a ludicrous 288, 419, 569 slash line, which is crazy, in his age 25 season. It's just like bonkers numbers. The guy is unbelievable. The kind of career numbers Soto has produced before turning 26 puts him in a path towards Cooperstown. Soto, a client of super agent Scott Boras, Boras is going to be happy, should fetch a long contract. He's absolutely going to fetch a long contract, worth over $500 million. It's probably just a matter of how close it gets to $600 million. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So we'll keep scrolling down here, and let's look at the teams. They put them in tiers here. So tier 1 is New York. Clearly, they have money. He's already played there. He's already proven that you can play in New York. Not everyone can play in New York at Yankee Stadium. It's a great ballpark for him. Really, every ballpark is pretty much a great ballpark for him. But he showed no signs of not playing like he did the previous bunch of years. Some players come to New York and they don't perform. There's a lot of pressure. It's just different. It's different playing in New York. I've never played there, but I've heard that it's different. And he smashed the whole season. So I think you have to have them up there in tier 1. Now, if we go down a little bit further here, we've got tier 1A. Okay, so tier 1A is the Mets. And the Mets are there because they're going to spend whatever they want to spend. There really is no budget. And so I think the Mets 100% are going to be in on him. The Mets started the year super poor this year, turned it around, made a really deep run. They're probably going to lose a little bit of their pop in the middle of the lineup. If you can add Soto to that team, obviously makes a huge, huge difference. If you're a team that's one guy away or a couple guys away, then I think you have to be all in on Soto because he just makes, not only is he a great player, he makes the rest of your lineup so much better. He's on base all the time. And if you want your players watching somebody that puts together a professional at-bat, this is the guy that you want to watch, you want to try to emulate. So I would definitely have the Mets in there as well. We'll scroll down a little bit more here, and this is just a quick little video. I won't play it, but this is the video that I saw earlier. Said that he's available to all 30 teams. He's not crossing anybody off. Okay, so now we got right here, Tier 1B, the Dodgers, always lurking. So it seems a little outrageous that the Dodgers would be in on Soto because, I mean, they're paying everyone so much money already. Their salaries are they're out of control, but they don't care. They're going to pay whatever it takes to win. And so maybe they will be in on Soto. I don't see this one happening. I just can't see it. But then again, I can't see anything that the Dodgers do happening. Like the Ohtani thing, you knew they'd go after him, but the way they were able to structure that contract, I don't know, maybe they'll do it again. Maybe they'll say, who cares if we owe $8 billion in 20 years or whenever? Who cares? Let's just win 10 World Series in a row. I can't imagine adding Soto to that lineup. That would be absolutely ridiculous. That lineup was so difficult to get through. But he is a perfect fit for them because he really does everything that they do. They've got guys that can drive the ball. He's like a Freddie Freeman. He's even a better player than what they have, or a better offensive player. But he's so much like a Freeman that can hit for power. He hits for even more power. He puts together professional at bats. Same thing with Mookie Betts. Again, has more power than Mookie. That lineup would just be unfair. So I wouldn't put that one up there as I guess you have to put it up because of the Dodgers, but I just can't see that one happening. We scroll down a little bit further here, and now you get into the tier twos, the rich, the desperate, and the aggressive. So you get the Giants, the Phillies, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. So the Giants and the Blue Jays, they were both in on Ohtani. Like, they were, I guess, finalists. They're willing to spend money. They showed they would spend a ton of money for Ohtani. So I think they definitely have to be in the running. I could see either one of them. I think they're both going to make a push and make a play for him. I honestly think when it comes to Soto again that I really think it's going to be the Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Giants. I actually don't think the Red Sox are going to be in the running for him. The Blue Jays, I think, will be in. And the Phillies, man, they're willing to make big moves and spend a lot of money also, so I guess you have to put them in there. See, all 30 teams are in this. They're really not. Like, I think these are probably the main teams that are going to really be in it. Now, I have heard the Nationals, which when we scroll down, I think they're in tier 3. I've heard the Nationals are going to be very involved in this as well. They already had him, obviously. They offered him a contract extension or a contract back when he was with them, and he turned it down. Obviously, that's going to be a lot more money now. I think maybe it's in here. I can't remember. I think they were offering him, how much will they offer him? Somewhere in the $300 million range, I believe. It's going to be almost, again, double that. They've got a lot of young players, up-and-coming players. Maybe Soto is someone they spend money on, and he comes in, and he's the veteran guy that hits in the middle of the lineup around a bunch of young guys. I mean, I guess I could see it happening. And then they've got the Padres down there as well. But I don't think I can't see the Padres going back and grabbing him again. So anyways, let's read this real quick. Let's see. So it says, they aren't the front runners, but cases can be made for these large market teams to join the Soto sweepstakes. Multiple executives listed the Giants and Red Sox as clubs that should be part of some kind of second tier of potential suitors. So they should be part. I don't think the Red Sox are going to be part, but they should be. Both the Blue Jays and the Giants were finalists for Shohei last year. I already talked about that. And San Francisco whiffed on Carlos Correa. That was like a weird one. They didn't get Bryce Harper. They didn't get Aaron Judge, though it wasn't due to an unwillingness to spend. So they are going to spend the money. The Giants are under a new regime with Buster Posey taking over as president of baseball operations. He is expected to jumpstart the Giants, and his competitiveness could lead to an aggressive approach in his first winter as head of the franchise. I didn't even realize that he was head of the franchise there. And then Toronto's coming off a dismal season. Closing a mega deal for Soto would immediately change its fortunes and take some heat off a front office that has not maximized Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. The Phillies can't be ruled out either as they try to extend their competitive window. There's a skill in talking owners into spending money, one league source said. Dave Dombrowski has been great at it. That's for sure. They are not afraid to spend money. So, again, and then you've got the tier 3 right here. I don't even know if we really have to get down to this point. But like I said, I have heard some people say that the Nationals are going to probably be in this. And let me see if it says what they offer. There it is right there. The Nationals had traded Soto to San Diego after he rejected a 15-year, $440 million contract extension. So it was bigger than I thought. I thought it was in the $300 million. It was $440 million, which showed a willingness to make him the highest paid player in baseball history. One AL executive said he'd place the Nationals among the top tiers of this exercise. Okay, so they would move them up even further. So, again, it could happen. We will see. And then if you scroll down here, what do we got now? We've got doubt it, and it's everybody else, and then not happening. The Rays, Marlins, the Athletics, the Rockies. You can read that. I guess I got to scroll down further for you to be able to read that. So you can see all those teams that it's not happening for, and I would agree it is not happening at any of those teams right there. And then I'll scroll back up here so you can see the doubt it's. And if I go through the doubts, I would probably have to agree with most of these spots right here. I mean, Atlanta spends a lot of money. But I would have to agree with that. So what do you guys think? Man, like, I think the Yankees are going to go all out to try to keep him. I think they realize how valuable he is to their team, and I think they're going to be willing to spend a lot of money. The Mets scare me as someone that's going to come in and say, I don't care what it takes. Get the man. Like, I could see the Mets doing that and paying him a ridiculous amount of money. So I want to say he's going back to the Yankees. I know Nick Palma, big Yankee fan, said it must get done. The Yankees must sign him. And I think they really need to. But the Mets scare me. The Mets really do. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do it. Watch, the Dodgers will probably do it now that I said that. But the Mets scare me as a team that's going to make it happen. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Who you think is going to pony up the possibly $600 million to sign Juan Soto. I'd love to hear and talk about it down there. So that's all we got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. And we'll talk to you later.